You guys, first of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time zone you're currently in. Welcome to another week of workouts, but not just any week of workouts. Girl, this is my 5-week glutes challenge on my NUBODY app. Like, what? I can't believe this is a week of workouts video with my app. I mean, I can't believe it, but I'm still kind of shocked, like, wow. Anyways, this is made for the girls who want to get bigger, rounder glutes, stronger legs, who don't know what to do at the gym. They're feeling stuck. They're hitting a plateau. They don't know how to like get that. This challenge, this one's for you. Right now, it's just gym-based workout challenge. I am going to tap more into the home challenge because I know not everybody has access to a gym or is signed up at a gym or feels comfortable working out at a gym. So I got you guys in a little bit. Don't worry, stay tuned. This week of workouts is going to be week 4 of the challenge. And I'm scared, I'm not gonna lie, because I know what I did, but I don't remember what I did. But knowing myself, it wasn't easy. It's hard. I'm gonna have to push myself. You guys are gonna see me go through hell probably in this video, but hopefully it just motivates you to want to try the challenge. Or if you don't want to buy the challenge, if it's too, it's not within your budget, you can still do this week of workouts at the gym for 5 weeks and just do progressive overload, whether it's increasing the weight or increasing the reps or increasing the tempo or the sets. Just make sure you're always challenging yourself every week and just like bask in the results, bask in the bigger, the rounder glutes, the stronger legs, because that is the goal of this challenge. Now, my challenge does have a beginner level and an advanced level. It's literally the same intensity. The only difference, honestly, is just certain exercises, right? My advanced girls, we can do certain things, whereas beginners, they have to build their way up to that. And don't worry, beginners, you will build your way up to that. I just don't want you to think that you're being robbed by being a beginner and you're not getting the same intensity as the advanced girls. That's not the case. Both workout programs are hard. I've done them both, let me tell you. So it's 5 weeks, 4-day workout split. We have a quads and glutes, we have hamstring and glutes, we have upper body because we don't neglect upper body over here, you guys already know, and we have a glutes day. I also incorporated 2 ab circuits on 2 of the days, and we do have cardio too because we don't neglect cardio. Like, it's just a well-balanced challenge, and I'm just super excited to take you guys along this week of workouts. Let's get started. All right, so we're gonna start off with our warm-up. Obviously, you guys know you have to warm up before every single workout, but I'm not gonna show you guys the warm-up for every single workout because I'm literally doing the same thing every single time. But on my leg days, which there are 3 days of the week for the legs, I do this lower body warm-up. I do actually have it available on the app for you. So if you're not too sure what exactly to do as a dynamic stretch for your warm-up, you can do this follow along video. Or if you have your own stretches that you like to do, you have your own like routine down pack, you can do that as well. Just make sure your warm-up is at least 3 to 5 minutes, so like a song and a half or 2 full songs. And obviously you want to stretch the muscles that you're about to utilize. So that's like your hip flexors, your ankles, your knees, because we are going to be doing a lot of hip flexion for day 1. So once you're all warmed up, we're going to go ahead and log onto the app. This is still kind of crazy to me seeing this like in person, but we're going to go to, here it says week 5 because originally supposed to be a 6-week, but it's 5 weeks, but it's actually week 4 of the actual program. So the first exercise we're going to go ahead and do are back squats. We're doing 4 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Now, you want to use the same weight that you used the week before. So previously I used 145 pounds, that's including the bar, and that's what I am doing again this week. Now, I really do recommend you guys, whenever you're doing a challenge and you see a rep range, aim for the higher rep. So because it says 6 to 8, here I'm aiming for 8 reps, especially for my first 2 sets where I have most of the energy in me, because come set 2, like 3 and 4, I'm done. So I try to aim for 8 and then I go down to like 6-ish, whatever. But when you guys do your squats, make sure you're always bracing your core, and you guys also want to, don't worry too much about going ass to grass. Like if you feel like you're winking your butt, your form is off by going too deep, just go until parallel and build your way up to a deeper squat. So from the back squats, we're gonna go straight into doing some hip thrusts. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I feel like getting underneath the Smith machine for hip thrust is super awkward. I just hate it, but I hate setting up a bar even more, so I'd rather do it this way. So we're doing 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. Now, you guys, this is a lot of reps we're doing, so you don't wanna go super heavy with the hip thrust on day 1. The goal is to actually push out these reps. So what I do is the weight that I use for about 10 reps of hip thrust, I divide that in half and I use that weight for this exercise because it's a lot. Like once you get to that 12 rep range, you want to give up, but you can't, you got to keep pushing. I do recommend you guys also log in what you did right after you finish doing your set, so that 1, it tracks everything, and 2, it enables your rest time so you know how long your breaks should be. From that, we're going straight into some deficit reverse lunges. We're doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps on each leg. Now, because I was feeling my knees a little bit this day, I just did with one dumbbell instead of like the barbell. But nonetheless, I still got a really good pump in my glutes. So a couple things you guys want to keep in mind so that you guys actually feel your glutes. One, you can put your hand on top of your glutes so you can feel the muscles contracting as you step back. Also, a slight lean forward will help you get a nice glute stretch. And you also kind of want to step further back, so not completely in a 90-degree angle with both legs, so that way you get more of a stretch with your glutes. From that, we're going straight into doing some step ups. We're doing 3 sets of 12 reps on each leg. Now, I know step up is an exercise that a lot of people tend to feel more in their quads and not their glutes. So a few things I want to let you guys know so that you get more of a glute stretch is, one, if you're a tall girl like myself, make sure you're using something that's taller than a bench, because the bench will prevent you from getting that full range of motion all the way down. So here I'm using a 30-inch softbox, which will allow me to get that depth all the way down without my foot stopping me. Also, lean slightly forward. You want to kind of have that slant that we had when we did our reverse lunge, just so that you get more of a glute stretch. Another thing, as you guys can see, I'm holding on to something sturdy because it allows me to have a lot of balance. Also, which I'm doing too, going through it, but not just that, I want to tell you guys, is I'm not touching the floor. Like literally I'm going all the way down. My toe taps the floor very, very slightly. I wish I had a better angle of that. And then I go all the way back up. So I'm literally using the leg that's on top of the softbox to carry out the movement. And that's gonna let you feel it in your glutes and your quads of that leg. And then to end off day one, we're doing our cable kickbacks. We are doing 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps with a weight between 25 to 30 pounds. So with the cable kickbacks, a few things you guys want to keep in mind. 1, brace your core. 2, you want to make sure that your toe of the working leg is pointing outwards. So you want that toe pointing away from your body and not straight ahead. This will allow you to engage the lower part of your glutes and the upper part of your glutes as well. Make sure your back is always kept straight so you're not over kicking where you start to like arch your back at the top. You guys also want to make sure that you're squeezing your glutes at the top and you're controlling the movement as you kick back and slowly bringing your leg all the way back in, not letting the weight pull your leg back in. Day 2 of the challenge is an upper body workout. I'm actually going to be doing the beginner level today. It's pretty much the same thing as the advanced level. The only difference is the shoulder exercise. So the beginner girls are doing lateral raises, where the advanced girls are doing seated shoulder press. With the lateral raises, we're doing 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Now we just increased our weight from the previous week, so that's why our rep range is a little bit lower, but you guys still want to aim for that higher rep, so 8 reps. Make sure that you're not rocking your body too much as you lift the weight, and you always want to make sure the weight and your elbows and shoulders are all in alignment at the top of your lift. Also pretty cool, you guys, is that the fact my watch actually lets me know when my rest period is over. I love that. Anyways, from that, we're going straight into some tricep pushdowns. We're doing 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Now with the tricep pushdowns, you want to step back a little bit, push your butt back just a little bit to like a little hinge, and this will allow you to not have the rope, I almost forgot the name of the word, the rope stop you and block you from fully extending out your arms, because you want to make sure that you're fully locking out your arms as much as possible at the bottom. So the rope should kind of fall on the outside of your thighs. That way your tricep muscles really get engaged, and you want to really keep your arms still and not let it swing front to back as you extend them out. From that, we're going to go straight ahead and target our back by doing some seated rows. We're doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. Now you want to start by retracting your shoulders back to get your back engaged. And then what you guys want to make sure you're doing is you kind of want to stretch your arms all the way out, really bringing your shoulder blades away from your body, and then you want to pull everything in towards your belly button, lifting your chest up and your head up at the same time. So this is just going to really allow you to get that full stretch and that full range of motion is what I'm looking for in the top of your back, your traps, so that you guys are not using too much of momentum by like really leaning your whole body forward and leaning back. So I see a lot of people do that. It's really just stretching your arms forward and then pulling it all the way in, contracting the top of your back, pretending as though you have like a tennis ball between your shoulder blades and you're trying to hold it into place. Next, we're gonna go ahead and target our chest. Okay, we're doing some dumbbell chest press. We're doing 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps because this is honestly the only chest exercise we will be doing in the entire challenge. Now, a few things you guys wanna keep in mind. You wanna make sure that your lower back is actually off of the bench. So you wanna have your shoulder blades, the top of your back, and your butt touching the bench. Now, for me personally, I have to really bring my elbows in as I drop the weight down, stretching my chest open so that I don't feel this in my shoulders, because a lot of times I used to feel this a lot in my shoulders and I would get such pain and I hated it. So I had to really make sure that I'm tucking my elbows in towards my hips as I drop the weight down. And as you push the weight up, you want to squeeze your chest at the top. Next, we're gonna go straight ahead and target our lats with some lat pull downs. You guys wanna make sure you retract your shoulders back before starting and always have thumb over bar when doing this exercise. This is gonna allow you to use your lat and your back to pull the bar and not just your triceps and your arms. Also, keep in mind, you guys want to pin your elbows in towards your ribs as you bring that bar down. It's going to help you engage your lats. Also, another thing, try to not pull the bar too low. Pull it just down to your collarbone. And for me personally, I have to like reset so that I make sure that my lats are being kept down and my shoulders are not hiking up too much to my ears. And we're doing 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps for this exercise. And then to end off our upper body day, we're going to hit our biceps with some bicep curls. We're doing 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. And personally, I prefer doing them with a fixed barbell. Also really recommend to do this with a fixed barbell if you guys are a beginner, just because you don't have to focus on the balancing of 2 dumbbells at the same time going up and down. Now, this exercise, make sure you guys are not swinging your arms front to back. So really try to keep your elbows tight next to your side. And you want to breathe in as you extend out and exhale as you curl the bar all the way up. I was really going through it with this exercise, you guys. But that is it for the lift part. You guys do have the option of doing an ab circuit at the end if you want to, but what you don't have an option of doing is your cardio. So day 2, you do have cardio to do at the end of your workout. Day 3 is our second leg day of the challenge. It's more of a hamstring and glutes workout. Now, I kind of messed up, guys. I recorded before this challenge was finalized a B-sans hip thrust, but that's not what we're doing. We're doing a regular hip thrust, but we're going heavy. So on day 1, we went light. On day 3, we go heavy, and we're doing 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps of a heavy weight. So I'm just going to fast forward this part because it's not really relevant of what you guys have to do for the challenge. So from our hip thrust, we're going to go straight into doing some hamstring curls, which is actually in the program now, guys. So both the beginner and the advanced level have hamstring curls programmed in the challenge. We're going to be doing 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps, and we have a lower rep range because we are actually increasing the weight by 10 to 15 pounds from the previous week. So if you guys have that drop down weight on your machine, then definitely use that if the next notch is a lot higher than what you actually can lift. You do want to make sure that you're controlling the movement though. So you want to slowly bring your leg in and slowly extend your legs out. That way you really get a good isolation on your hamstrings. So in this exercise, I'm using the upright machine for the hamstring curls, but you guys can use a machine where you're literally like laying on your stomach and you just bend and extend at your knees. It does the exact same thing. From that, we're going straight into back extensions. We're doing 3 sets of 20 reps with a weight. Now in the challenge, it says to use a 10-pound plate, but you can use a heavier weight if you feel like that's too light for you, but just make sure that you are going to complete all 20 reps with taking no breaks. Now, in order for you to feel this more in your glutes and not just solely your hamstrings, have your toes pointing outwards as you guys can see. And I also have my back really rounded. So I'm keeping my chin tucked in, shoulders forward, and I'm pulling up with my glutes. So as you guys can see at the top, literally my glutes are contracting every single time. So think of pulling yourself up with your butt only and not your back. From that, we're going to go ahead and do some medius kickbacks. If you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you know I do this exercise religiously. So of course I had to put it in the challenge for you guys. So we're doing 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. And one thing you guys want to keep in mind and remember when you do abduction exercises, you always want to keep your toe pointing internally. So point that toe inwards and not externally like we did for our cable kickbacks on day 1. Sticking with the upper glutes, we're going to do a seated hip abduction superset that I personally have been doing for a couple of months now, and it is challenging in itself. So obviously I had to put this, guys, in the challenge for you. So you want to do 10 to 12 reps of the seated hip abduction with your body leaning forward. So that's going to allow you to get a really good stretch in not just the top part, but also like the mid part of your glutes as well. You want to make sure that you're bringing your knees all the way out and bringing them all the way in. Now, once you finish doing 10 to 12 reps, you want to sit all the way back against the chair and do another 10 to 12 reps with the same weight. So because we increased the weight by 10 to 15 pounds from the week before, this is why the rep range is a little bit lower. I cannot tell you guys how much this burns the top part of your glutes. Like, if you can see my face, which you obviously can, I am definitely really going through it and just trying to tell myself, like, Tashana, keep pushing, because I just wanted to stop so many times. This was so hard because I was increasing the weight from what I usually do prior to this challenge. And then the last exercise of day 3 are RDLs. It's actually programmed in the beginning of the challenge, but I just did them at the end. And that's something you guys can keep in mind, is that you don't have to follow the way that the exercises are listed. You can kind of switch them up and do them as you please. Do recommend you guys do the heavier and the harder lifts first, and then the easier, lighter ones towards the end, which is kind of how I programmed it. But if you see that the machines are occupied, whatever, you have to come back to it, then definitely come back to it. Just make sure you do every single exercise, all reps and sets every day. Now we're doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps, really making sure you're keeping a slight bend in your knee and hinging all the way back. For the girls who are doing the advanced levels, you're doing beast stance RDLs, but for the beginners, we're just sticking to the basic RDLs to make sure you guys get it down packed and you're not feeling it in your back. Once you guys finish all your exercises for day 3, you do have a cardio to do at the end, so don't forget that, okay? If you guys don't have the chance to do the cardio, make sure you guys do it on day 4 because it's got to get done. On day 4, we are doing a glutes focused leg day. It's the last day of our week of workouts, and we're starting off with some Bulgarian split squats. Literally, you guys, this is pretty much the exact same thing for both the advanced and the beginner level. So we're doing 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, and you guys want to make sure you actually do all to 12 to 15 reps. Really try to aim for 15 reps for the first set where you have all the energies and your muscles are not completely exhausted out. Also recommend and suggest you guys do Bulgarian split squats first, get it out the way. Do not let this be the last exercise you do on day 4. With the split squats, you guys do keep in mind to push your butt back and then shoot up like an escalator. And you want to make sure that your shins are kind of slanted at the bottom so they're not completely vertical. Also get a full range of motion, guys. Go all the way down. Bring that back knee as close as possible to the floor so that you really can feel your glutes getting that nice stretch. I know it burns, but you have to do this in order to get the pump. From that, we're gonna go straight into doing some glute bridges. We're doing 3 sets of 20 reps, and I feel like this exercise is something that's super underrated. I know a lot of times people really prioritize and they hype up hip thrusts, which, don't get me wrong, hip thrusts are amazing. There's a reason why we do it like every day of our leg days. But glute bridges are really good because you are stretching your glutes more in a short length and not in a long length like you do for hip thrusts. That doesn't mean that it's not a good pump or a good exercise to grow your glutes. It's still really good to target the lower and the upper part of your glutes. You do want to keep in mind that you have to fully extend your hips all the way up, so really get your hips aligned with your knees at the top of the position. Pushing off of the heel of your feet is going to help you get a lot of that glute engagement as well, and squeezing your glutes at the top like you would do for a hip thrust is super ideal. Now, because we're doing 20 reps, you guys can kind of power through this and go fast if you want to. Just make sure you're not taking too long of a break in between or taking any pauses or breaks in between reps. Just rep it out, don't think about it, and push through it. Even though it burns, you can see it on my face, it should start burning by like rep 15 to 16 and onwards. Next, we're going to go ahead and do some sumo squats. We're doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. And in the notes, if you guys check, you will see that you have to do a slow tempo. So we're doing 3 seconds down, hold it for a second, and then come all the way back up. The reason behind this is just so that you guys have your glutes under tension a little bit longer rather than speeding through it and going all the way down and come back up 1 second each time. It does also allow you to take your time and really control the movement using your muscles and not just momentum. With the sumo squats, you want to push your knees out in the direction of your toes while pushing your butt back and down with a slight slanted torso, so your chest should be a little bit forward. That way you can really get a nice stretch in your glutes while doing this exercise. And as you come up, you want to push through your heels and push through your quads all the way up while pushing your knees out. So try to avoid having those knees buckle in. So the next exercise are going to be some side laying hip abductions. Now this I highly recommend you guys to do on a bench or on a softbox like I'm doing here, because you want to really make sure that as you bring your leg down, your foot can't really touch the floor because it's high up off of the floor, if that makes sense. We're placing a weight on top of the side of your working leg. So here I have a 25-pound plate. I don't know why I'm going so heavy, but in the program it's said to do 10 pounds. Making sure that you have that working leg placed behind the bended knee, and you always keep your toe pointing down like I mentioned for abductions, just to really help target the top part of your glutes. From that, we're going to go ahead and do some kickbacks. So previously I had said to do medius cable kickbacks, but I changed it to just regular kickbacks. So in the challenge, you're going to see regular kickbacks, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. So it's still going to be working that upper and lower part of your glutes. So instead of keeping your toe pointing inwards, you're going to have your toe pointing outwards like we did for day 1. Always making sure you're controlling the movement, bring your leg slowly in and then back out, squeezing your glutes at the top. And then the last exercise of day 4 is single leg hip thrusts. Guys, I purposely, intentionally, whatever you want to call it, put this exercise at the end of our workout because I wanted you guys to look at it and be like, is she serious? We're doing 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps? Yes, we are. And we're aiming for the 20 rep rather than the 15. Don't just do 15 because you see 15 and you're tired and you're exhausted and you just want to go home. No, this is really going to pump your glutes, you guys, and target the lower part and the upper part of your glutes. Even when you're contemplating life and you're just like, oh my God, why did I buy this program? Why is she doing this to me? Just push through it. Don't think about it, just push through it. What I would recommend you guys to do, because I definitely do this too, this is why I'm letting you guys see everything in like real time, is I take a slight little break between legs, nothing too crazy, nothing too long, like 10 to 15 seconds max, and then get right back into it. Okay, make sure that you're bracing your core, you're not overarching and over thrusting at the top where you start to feel it in your lower back. You want to make sure that the bench that you're doing it against actually falls just below your shoulder blade. That's when you know the bench is a perfect height for you. Once again, pushing all the way, full extension, pushing off of that heel of your foot. And I would recommend you guys starting off with the weaker leg. So if you're right-handed, probably your left leg is weaker, so do it with the left leg. And that is it, you guys. That is a week of workouts doing week 4 of the NUBODY 5 weeks glute challenge. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you are interested in trying this challenge, this is me just logging in everything, by the way, definitely click the link down below. It will give you the sign up sheet as well as access information to the app so that you can have access to your program. If you have any questions, you can leave me a comment in the comments below and I can definitely answer them for you. Make sure you guys also subscribe to my channel and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.